Good. Hold on. You think this? I've never done this before. All right, take two. Good evening, everybody. How we doing for a live? Yes, folks, we're actually live tonight.
Yeah, we're live, baby.
Sports Ballz episode right here on the ATR Network. As always, I am joined with my man Kosta. Kosta, what's going on, buddy?
Everything's good, boss. I'm extremely excited for what's about to go down this weekend. So let's get to it, man. Let's go.
Yes, folks. If you like to keep up with everything we have going on, you definitely can. We have a lot of options for you guys. If you want to watch us, definitely go to our YouTube page, youtube.com/@the ATR Network, where you can find any of our past shows, including the Sports Ballz, Kosta, his show, the Rap and Rock Connection, our flagship show, the Around the Ropes podcast. You name it, you can find us there. While you're there, hit the subscribe button. It costs you guys nothing. It does wonders for us. But that's on the video side. If you want to catch up with us on the social media side, definitely you can go to Facebook, go to Twitter, go to Instagram. You name it, we're there. Just search ATR Network. You can find any of our info there. The last part, it's a mouthful here, guys. Bear with me on this one. If you like to listen to the show because you cannot get a chance to watch the show live, you now have that ability. If you go to your local podcast, or go to Apple iTunes, go to TuneIn Radio, go to iHeartRadio, go to Stitcher, type in the ATR Network, it will all be there. Any of our past. And also, folks, if you go to the podcast side of things, I was making mention of this, you will also get previous interviews that we had done.
Mm-hmm.
So you never didn't want to miss that. So there's no excuse to never miss a show, either live or on replay.
Yep. Yes, sir.
But with all that being said, Kosta, how's your week been, buddy? I know I haven't seen you.
Man, I feel like I haven't seen you in like a year, guys. So, yeah, so I've been busy. I kind of like teach a course now in which it's called the Music Matters Club and the I Matter program. So in that program, we teach youth how to raise their confidence and be more resilient. So it's like we don't use this word, but it's like an anti-bullying program, right, for youth. So I've been busy helping teach that course, and just doing things in the music industry, and trying to get our podcast together, really. So yeah, just been busy doing that stuff on the business side and all of that.
Hey, dude, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that you're doing something. And definitely want to. If you're a music fan, definitely check out Kosta and Chris Rex as they host a show called the Rap and Rock Connection.
Yes,
Any past shows of that will be available on our YouTube page.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the future of that show, just stay tuned in. That's the best way I can put it.
Yes, sir. Yes,
just
sir.
stay tuned in. No, it's not going away, folks. It's not going
away. Not going away. Definitely not going away. We're
just some minor cosmetic things. Let me put it that way.
Exactly.
But getting all that pleasantry stuff out of the way, Kosta, there's no football game this weekend, is there?
Oh man, there's actually a huge event called the Super Bowl. So
who cares?
I think you care more about the awards that were handed out rather than the Super Bowl. So it's okay.
Well, yes, guys. Yes, we are a few days away from the 57th Super Bowl happening in Phoenix, Arizona, as the Kansas City Chiefs, who are the number 1 seed, are taking on some team from Philadelphia who nobody cares about.
My squad, baby. Let's go.
Yes. But we're going to get into that later on.
Yes, sir.
We're going to get into that later on. We're going to get into also who made it into the Hall of Fame for football, plus also the awards that we're giving out that some people, Kosta, thinks are pointless. But we're actually going to open up tonight's show talking a little bit about basketball. Because the trade deadline just came and went. And if you're the Brooklyn Nets, you basically just blew up that team.
Yep.
Because let's talk about that now. Because as of a few of the trades that happened, Kyrie Irving got sent to Dallas.
Yep.
And in a surprise move, I think you could say, Kevin Durant got sent to Phoenix.
Well, I wouldn't call it really a surprise move. I feel like because Kyrie Irving got traded, I feel like Kevin Durant doesn't ever want to be alone leading his team of nobodies alone. So he always has to join a super team like he did with Golden State and whoever else he joined, right? So it always has to be a super team for Mr. Kevin Durant, as he just joined the Phoenix Suns along with Devin Booker, Chris Paul, and DeAndre Ayton. So they are now the favorites to win the championship, which I hope they do not do. So let's see what happens.
All I know is it just makes the West that much more difficult now.
Exactly. It's actually going to be really fun to see that. Speaking of that, it's actually going to be really fun to see Kyrie Irving go at it against the Suns, which I everybody presumes that they're going to face each other sometime in the playoffs, right? Or even
more right? But you also have to realize though, going out west actually does a lot better for them.
Yeah,
because you have to be at your best every night.
Exactly.
You have to be at your best every night because look at it this way. When you look at the West, okay, you got Phoenix right now, who's on the rise. You got Dallas, who's doing good right now. The Clippers are always a dangerous team.
Yep.
San Antonio is always like that. You don't really know what to make of them. You got teams like Memphis, teams like Sacramento.
Yeah. Teams like the Spurs, they're tanking this year for the next draft pick that is to come. But besides this year, which I think, in my opinion, should be Greg Popovich's last year. I don't know if it will be, but it should be. But besides this year, they've been making it to the playoffs. But this year they decided to tank for an upcoming draft pick named Victor Wembanyama, who is projected to be the first draft pick for this summer coming up. Yeah, so they're tanking really. They have a record of 41 losses and 14 wins for the San Antonio Spurs. So they've thrown the season away.
Okay, but here's the thing though. The Spurs have been one of those teams for some reason that it doesn't matter who you put on that team. They're always, I think it's also, like you said before, because you got Popovich here, and Popovich has been there, over 20 years now.
Yeah.
Or close to 20 years.
Yeah,
I think that has a lot to do with it.
I know. I think, but you can tell that like teams like Houston and San Antonio this year, you can tell that they're tanking on purpose to get a higher, or a high draft pick come this summer, right? So I don't know. I think there should be in my opinion, there should be a penalty for teams that at least look like they're tanking on purpose, right? Because it's not fair. I mean, the whole league knows that they're tanking, right? So it's not fair for other teams. I mean, look at teams like let's go to the East. Look at teams like Orlando, who've been bad for like 10 or 15 years now, just to get high picks in the draft. What benefit does that give them?
But Kosta, you bring up an interesting point though with tanking, because tanking has been a topic that's been talked about in sports for the longest time now.
I know. Yeah, exactly.
And honestly, I don't think it's. In some aspects, I see it as being tanking.
Yeah.
But in other aspects, I don't see it as tanking. I just see it as, they're. I mean, okay, great example. Great example of this. Look at, and this is a different sport, but it's the same point that I'm trying to make. Look at the Bengals. Okay.
Yeah.
How many years were they terrible? At least 10?
My entire basically my entire lifetime. Yeah.
And now look at them. They're one of the powerhouse teams out of the AFC North.
I know.
So in some aspects, yes, that I'm trying to think of the best way to put this. In some aspects, yes, I feel that tanking does become a problem.
Yeah.
But in other aspects, I don't know if it does.
I guess it's the kind of sport that you're talking about. Like in football, I think there's I don't know how to explain it. I think they don't tank on purpose. It's just that their teams are actually just mediocre, right? But in the reason why I say they do it on purpose in the NBA is that they sit their star players on purpose, like really like low management shit. Like you have to find a way to stop that, right?
Yes, but the thing is also, I think a lot of times when you see these players and these teams who are sitting there, best guys. I mean, when was it? A couple of years ago, because I remember this.
Yeah.
There was a whole controversy with San Antonio, actually.
Yeah.
That there was a game that happened that they were dropped, that they sat Parker.
Yeah.
Oh shit, who was it? It was Parker, Duncan, and Ginobili.
Yeah, yeah.
And they ended up still winning big. And I'm like, I think a lot of times when teams do that, you see that more towards like, take the NBA for example. I think you see that more towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
Once the team already clinches, because in their eyes, they don't want to waste a valuable player like the aforementioned San Antonio Spurs, going back to the days of Parker.
Yeah.
They don't want to waste him on, when it doesn't matter.
Exactly. And that way you risk if you keep playing them, they risk the chance of injury, right? So that's another thing that goes into sitting.
Exactly. I think the problem is you look at that whole thing. I totally agree with you on that. I think when you get a team who is very dominant, like San Antonio is, hell, even go back to the days when Golden State had their run.
They're still kind of having it if you want to make that argument, but yeah,
not to the extent like they weren't. I think now with the Warriors, I don't think they're as dominant as they used to be, because I think teams learned how to play them.
Oh, really?
I think so. But also, I mean, let's call a spade here. Yeah. We can sit here and talk about these teams having a run. No team is ever going to have a run like the New England Patriots did.
Yeah, I know. That's true.
So to me, the Patriots are a true dynasty. What the Warriors have done, yes, I think San Antonio, definitely a dynasty team in the 90s.
Yeah, I think, okay, so this is my, I'm just sorry for the interruption, boss, but this is my rule when it comes to making the distinction between a team being a dynasty and a team not being a dynasty. For me, in order for a team to be a dynasty, they've had to have the ability to three-peat, to win 3 championships in a row. Now, Golden State had a chance to do that, but my Raptors in 2019 put a stop to that. So I wouldn't necessarily call, going by that rule, I wouldn't necessarily call Golden State a dynasty.
No, absolutely not. I don't think
they won 3 championships in a row.
I think realistically, when you talk about dynasties, you know who else you can put into a dynasty? When you look at the NBA, look at Chicago, the Bulls back in the 90s.
Early Chicago, yeah.
Early Chicago Bulls, I think they're definitely a dynasty.
Yep, definitely, yep.
The Lakers,
yep.
Especially when it was Kobe and Shaq, those days.
Oh yeah, that's complete dominance, yeah.
Yeah, I think those two really are. I think other than that, as far as NBA goes, as far as a dynasty team,
maybe the Spurs, yeah, the Spurs, maybe.
Yeah,
I would say the Spurs.
I would say probably the Spurs, but that's really it, though.
Yeah, that's really it. Yeah.
But also, again, and this just dawned on me. Look at the competition level back then.
It was tough.
I mean, okay, another team we can mention, and this goes back even before the 90s. Yeah. Go back to the days when Boston, the Celtics, pretty much ran the East.
Yeah, exactly.
Go back to the days where they were winning championships like it was candy for a fat kid.
Yeah.
But I want to get your take on something, though, in regards to
go ahead.
With Brooklyn. Who do you blame with the Nets? Who do you blame for their failure? Do you blame ownership? Do you blame the fact that they hired Steve Nash as their head coach for that reason?
Yeah. I think this is going to be an answer that's kind of cliche, but I think there's blame to be placed in everybody's like pot. You know what I mean? Like management they gave all these picks like draft picks away for like a year or two of Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and whoever else was there.
Wasn't it Jason Terry? If I
Or-
remember correctly, was the third guy?
Andre Kirilenko and that team, right?
Oh
It
God!
was just weird, like back then, right? So management in that way, management is to blame, but also like it's to blame of the star player and their egos, right? Like if you have star players like Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and James Harden on the same team, you have no excuse not to win a championship. Hold on. Let me expand on that.
Yeah, go right ahead.
The reason why I say that is because you should be completely embarrassed if you do not win a championship with those three caliber of players on your team. It's a complete embarrassment. It's the most embarrassing thing that has ever happened in the NBA, in my opinion.
Personally, the way I look at it, and folks, again, leave your comments below. I'd love to hear your guys' take.
Yeah.
Who do you blame for the Brooklyn Nets failure? Do you blame ownership? Do you blame management? Do you blame the players? Because an interesting stat came out after both Kyrie and Kevin Durant got traded. Do you know how many games was played in total where you had Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden on the court at the same time?
Like 14 or something like that?
16 games.
Oh, wow.
16 games.
16, yeah. I knew it was around there, yeah. 16 games.
So I just think, to me, personally, I blame management for it. Because I think management had this mindset of, oh, let's go with what the Yankees did back in the day and try to buy ourselves a championship.
Yeah.
Because not only did they, I think, shoot themselves in the foot by going after the guys that they did, I think they also shot themselves in the foot in the aspect of they got rid of the picks.
Exactly.
Who could have turned into something.
Yeah.
But Billy King, who was the GM at the time, basically turned around and said, nope, I want to get all these guys. I want to build this championship up. You gotta remember that, Kosta. You also have to remember when they were doing that, that's when they were making the move to Brooklyn.
Yeah. It went from New Jersey to Brooklyn, yeah.
So they were trying to build up that team because they were trying to get people into a brand new building.
Exactly. And Jay-Z, if you remember the first year, the very first year, Jay-Z was all over the place promoting Brooklyn, the Brooklyn Nets, this, that, construction of a new building and all that. But it all turned out to be that he just gets paid, basically just gets paid to sit in the seat, right? That's all his involvement was, just to get paid to sit in the seat.
But to me, it's whatever. I mean, when you look at what the Nets did, they did it to themselves.
Yeah.
And it just continues to trend. But guys, let us know in the comments below. Do you think that Brooklyn, to blame on Brooklyn should be on the players, should be on the coach? Because I think the other aspect also that people are forgetting is when they hired Steve Nash as the head coach, he had no coaching experience beforehand.
I know.
So the problem is when you're going to sit there and tell me, and the comment is, well, he had players on the team who can play. Okay, congratulations.
Yeah.
But they have to listen to somebody.
And they're not going to listen to somebody who used to be not somebody who used to be a former player, but somebody who has no experience doing what he's supposed to be doing.
That's why. But also, again, look at the flip side, though. Look at the Knicks. When years ago they had Phil Jackson as the general. Basically, he was the team president.
Yeah.
And everybody thought, okay, Phil Jackson's here. Phil Jackson, one of the greatest minds in this sport. And what ended up happening?
They flopped
so much.
Yeah.
But I know the Knicks also made a move.
Oh, yes, Josh Hart. That's the perfect move for them, of course, yeah.
Yeah, but again, we've said that before, that the Knicks make a perfect move, and they've done nothing since 1999.
It also becomes an advantage because himself, Josh Hart, and Jalen Brunson used to be teammates at at Villanova, right? So they have a connection. They already have a connection with each other, right?
Yeah, but I just think, to me, to be realistic, you're coming to the Knicks. You're not. I don't expect you to become the next Michael Jordan. Let's call it what it is.
No. But Josh Hart is a serviceable. He's a very serviceable player.
But I mean, I would love the days. I would love to have it when the Knicks are actually relevant again. Because, like I said, the Knicks haven't been relevant to me since '99.
No. John, yes. They've been good before. I mean, after that, man. But
they've had spurts. Let me put it that way.
Small spurts of,
like they had that run in 2012
with Melo. Yeah, with Melo.
It was Melo, Stoudemire, Steve Novak,
Jason Kidd was there, I think. Yeah,
it was Jerry Stackhouse was on.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? So here's the thing between fans of Brooklyn and fans of the New York Knicks. New York Knicks fans are ecstatic, absolutely ecstatic that Brooklyn is imploding like this.
Oh yeah, right? because how many years?
There's only one New York team, and even in my opinion, there's only one New York team, and that New York team is the New York Knicks.
People laugh at me. They go, "Would I ever support the Nets?" I go, "Absolutely not."
Because no. I was never in support of the Nets ever. So,
but to me, the Nets will always be the New Jersey Nets to me.
Yeah, I agree with you. Just move them back to New York. So New York. So.
Yeah. So to me, it's I have no rhyme or reason for it.
But just add one more point about the Nets, if you don't mind.
Go right ahead.
Just, a few minutes more. I also think that not that it imploded it, but it was a distraction. It was a distraction in terms of so Kyrie has the ability to make any decisions he wants to make. I'm not disputing that, but it was also a distraction off the court in terms of what the decisions that Kyrie was making in terms of at that time whether or not to get the vaccine or not. That was a complete distraction to the rest of the team. But yeah, I think that hindered his off-court presence, hindered his on-court presence.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you on that.
So
I mean, you go back to what happened with him, and when he turned around and said, "Oh, I'm not going to play because of the whole COVID thing," I was like, "Dude, I don't want to get political on here. I don't.
No.
But the people who sat there and said, "Oh, I have a problem. Why am I going to get the vaccine?" This, that, another thing. Dude, grow up. Get the vaccine.
Yeah.
I mean, look at how much different we are now.
That's true.
But
I don't know if it was because of the vaccine, but anyway, it's okay.
People change, Kosta.
Yeah, I know.
And sometimes it's not for the best.
Mm-hmm.
But Kosta, let me ask you this though, because you're the NBA guy on here.
Okay, go ahead.
Out of all the trades that happened leading up to the deadline, what would be one trade that you think that was kind of like an, oh my God, I can't believe this trade actually happened?
I gotta go back to Kevin. Honestly, my honest opinion, the Kevin Durant trade to Phoenix, that was like, oh my God statement, because their lineup is absolutely stacked. Like, their starting five is incredible, man. If they don't win the championship this year, then I might have to take back my statement of Brooklyn being the most embarrassing blow up, right? So, because they have absolutely no excuse now not to win a championship.
Oh yeah. Let me run down the standings right now. Okay.
Yeah.
In the East, Boston is in first. They're 39-16.
Yep.
Milwaukee's in second. They're 38-17.
Yep.
It's still the top 8 teams get in, right?
No. So it's like the NHL kind of like. So the NBA added a play-in tournament, right?
Yeah, that I know.
It goes up to if you're 11th or higher, like 11th or 10th, you participate in a play-in to get into the playoffs.
Okay.
Right? So
I'll read the top 11 teams then.
Sorry?
I'll read the top 11 teams.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So, like I said, Boston's 1, Milwaukee is 2. The 76ers are 3rd. They're 34-19.
Yeah.
Cleveland is in 4th.
Yeah.
Now it gets interesting. Brooklyn's in 5th. Miami's in 6th. The New York Knicks are in 7th. Let's go.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Atlanta is 8th. Chicago is 9th. Toronto is 10th.
Yeah. They're in the play-in zone. So if they stay there, they're gonna be in the play-in. Yeah.
Right now, they would be playing Washington for that playing game.
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. In the West, let me go through the West quickly. Wow, hold on. This is interesting because if you look at the East, like I just went through.
Yeah.
If you go through the West, for example, the East, it's a 13.5 game difference between the team of 11, which is the Washington Wizards, to the first team, which is the Boston Celtics.
Yeah.
You look at the Western Conference, it's a difference of 11. It's a difference of 11 games.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Denver's in 1st. They're 38-18. Memphis is in 2nd. They're 33-21. Sacramento's in 3rd. They're 31-23. Dallas is in 4th. They're 30-26. Los Angeles Clippers are 31-27. Phoenix right now is the 6th seed. They're 30-27.
Yeah.
Coming in at 7, you have New Orleans at 29-27. Minnesota's at 30-28. Golden State is 28-27. Portland is 27 is in 10th place. At 11th place right now is the Utah Jazz.
Oh, wow. So the Utah Jazz, speaking of the Utah Jazz, I don't know if he's going to play for them, but I think the most likely solution is for him to get bought out. Who I'm talking about when I say him is Russell Westbrook. So the Jazz acquired Russell Westbrook from the LA Lakers during the deadline, right? So nobody's sure if he's gonna actually play for them or he's gonna be a buyout candidate and go to a playoff contender like the Clippers or the Miami Heat in the East. Mm-hmm. So it's like there's a bunch of people on the buyout market that may go to playoff contenders, and Russell Westbrook is one of them.
But Kosta, here's the interesting thing, though.
Yeah,
Utah is in a little bit of a pickle right now.
I know they're in the playoff. They're in the play-in zone, right?
No, because they got 2 teams breathing down their necks.
Yeah,
that are only 2 games away from them, and that's OKC and the Lakers.
Yeah, man, it's close. It's gonna be
right
tough.
now. The only 2 teams in the West that I can say for certain are not going to make the playoffs are the San Antonio Spurs and the Houston Rockets.
I know. Yeah, those are definite no's.
Yeah, those are. But okay, let me look at the East for a second. Now that I'm looking at that.
Yeah,
it's the same thing even in the East. Actually, in the East, hold on. In the East, it's the same setup. Washington is kind of in a pickle right now because they got Indiana and Orlando on their ass.
I know. It's tough.
And obviously, like I said before, the 2 teams that I know for certain that are not going to make it out of the East are the New Orleans Hornets and the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, those are the two worst teams in the East.
But let's definitely, like I said, folks, if you have a comment below that you'd like to make about us regarding the NBA, we would definitely keep it going. But I'd like to keep the conversation going right now. Guys, we're actually going to throw it to a quick commercial break.
Okay, that's good.
And then when we come back, we are going to get into some NFL talk as who made it for the NFL draft, the NFL Hall of Fame for 2023.
All right.
So, guys, you're watching the Around the Ropes. Holy crap. You guys are watching Sports Ballz right here on the ATR Network We'll be right back right after a word from our great partners of Doobie Energy Drink.
All right.
Hey, folks, this is Carl from the ATR Network. Just want to let you know we have a brand new sponsor. It's Doobie Energy. All your energy drinks with no jitters and no crash. Check this out. See you next time.
Oh, sorry. My dancing has to be done. But guys, we're back live right here on Sports Ballz. As always, I enjoy with Kosta. Guys, if you have any comments you'd like to add to the show, definitely read them below. Just leave them below, and we will definitely grab them. But guys, we have to get some NFL talking. Before we get to the Super Bowl, Kosta, calm yourself down, buddy.
Yeah.
They had the Hall of Fame announcement for who made it for the class of 2023.
All right, you want to go through the names?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Let me go first with the players because they broke it down in different categories.
Okay.
Rondé Barber.
Okay.
Former cornerback from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Obviously, he is the brother of Tiki Barber, former running back from my New York Giants.
Yeah. Yeah.
Darrelle Revis, cornerback from the New York Jets.
Ooh, well deserved. That's nice.
Joe Thomas, I think offensive tackle.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
On Cleveland.
Yeah.
Zach Thomas.
So many Thomas as well. Okay.
It's his, from what I read, it's his 10th year of eligibility.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Then you have DeMarcus Ware.
Okay. All right.
Then for head coach, it's Don Coryell, who was a coach back in the 70s.
Okay. I wasn't born then, so I don't know.
Me neither. I wasn't either. Then you got Chuck Howley, who I will try to see if I can look up his information quickly, because these are now the guys who, who are
the older guys. Yeah.
Ken Riley also made it.
Yep. Okay.
And probably the biggest surprise of all, the one, the only, Mr. Joe Klecko himself from the Sack Exchange of the New York Jets made it into the Hall of Fame.
Wow.
So the funny thing is, you have two guys in the Hall of Fame who made it in for the class of 2023 who both played for the Jets.
That's interesting.
But Kosta, do any of them surprise you at all?
To be honest, no, they don't. I think everyone that was named is well deserved, right? So I think there was no mistakes on that end of the NFL decision making, but we'll get into other stuff soon. Yeah.
But honestly, congratulations to all of them for making it in.
Congrats, everyone.
Especially when you're playing football. Football is not an easy sport to play.
Oh, of course not. We've seen examples of that just this year. So, yeah.
Hey, Kosta, you know somebody who actually played football.
Oh, yeah?
Me.
Oh, man.
Yes, granted, I got tackled at the line of scrimmage, but I still played.
Do I have to make a comment on that? Oh, God.
But yes. But now, Kosta, I know you want to get to this. I know this has been freaking eating at you.
It's eating at me.
Let's get into the awards, shall we?
Sure, go ahead.
Because I know you're going to love this part. Now, if this can actually work, that would be fantastic. Hold on 1 second, folks. Unfortunately, my internet is not working at the current moment.
Oh, God. Okay.
Shocker, I know.
It must be that Long Island connection.
Yeah, well, we'll call it that. Oh, come on. I had it up last night. God damn it. Okay. Here we go. Here we go, folks. I finally got it up.
All right.
Alrighty. So, if I can actually scroll down, because of course, I love when websites have 97 freaking ads.
Exactly.
Like, I don't care about foot fungus or all that crap.
The same goes for like fucking YouTube as well. I hate freaking ads when I'm trying to watch a damn video on there, man. So annoying. Anyway, yeah.
Hold on. Let me just bear with me 1 second here, folks, because I love when you go to a website and there's 9,000 freaking ads.
No worries, boss. Take your time. It's all right.
But okay, so apparently I can't do it that way, so I have to go another way. Okay, here we go. ESPN. Hopefully ESPN will finally work.
Yeah.
All right. Your MVP.
Yep.
Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, the Eagles and the Chiefs basically had the same record, right? The same regular season record.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be, and the reason why I say it's wrong is because I can feel that there's a bias towards Patrick Mahomes, saying that Jalen Hurts only got 2 votes for MVP, right? So that's not possible, considering the fact that Philadelphia was undefeated for like more than half of the season. So I don't see how Jalen Hurts only gets 2 votes for the MVP.
Let me keep going because I think there's a few others that are going to make you want to pull your hair out.
I don't have any hair, so it's short. So I got a haircut recently. It's okay.
Looks good.
Thank you.
Offensive Player of the Year, Justin Jefferson, wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings.
What can I say? Everybody. I'm gonna put it this way, just so everybody can get a clue here. Everybody that has won an award, every team, every player, the Eagles have dominated. So we dominated the Vikings basically 38-7, and then they give Justin Jefferson the award. So again, I'm going to reiterate in saying that these regular season awards do not mean a goddamn thing to me. So it's all good.
Well, it gets better. Defensive Player of the Year, Nick Bosa, defensive end, San Francisco 49ers.
Oh, there's another example of a sore loser right there. But anyway, I'm not going to get into that.
Offensive Rookie of the Year, Garrett Wilson, wide receiver, New York Jets.
What more can I say?
Defensive Rookie of the Year, Sauce Gardner, cornerback, New York Jets.
Oh, well, you can say, he's in his rookie year, so it's that's well deserved. That's well deserved. He's good. He's good. Sauce is good in my book.
Yes, Kosta. Defensive Rookie of the Year means they're still a rookie.
Oh, I thought you said Defensive Player of the Year. Sorry.
Yeah,
that was
rookie.
my bad.
Rookie
That was
of
my
the
bad.
Year.
My bad. Yeah.
Comeback Player of the Year,
Yep,
Geno Smith.
Okay. I'll say it this way. I'll say it this way. Geno Smith is a very good story. A very good you can't really say he came back because he didn't really come back from anything except for being shit on the Jets,
And the Giants.
and the Giants. Yeah, and the Giants. So I don't know how they quantify a comeback player of the year, because if you take the real definition of comeback player, then I would put Brandon Graham as the winner, because he came back from a torn ACL last year, and he had the most sacks of his career in like 11 or 12, right? So I think if you put it that way, the award should go to actually Brandon Graham, because again, I don't actually know what Geno Smith came back from. So,
well, Kosta, I leave the best for last.
oh
The
dear
biggest
God.
award of all.
Oh God.
And the reason why I have the biggest grin on my face right now, your 2023 Coach of the Year, Brian Daboll, New York Giants, baby. Let's go.
Oh man. What can I say? I'll tell you. I'll put it this way. I think it's based on a regular season award, right? So,
Yeah.
So the New York Giants had a very good regular season, right?
Yes.
Brian Daboll got them to go in the right direction, right? So
yes, he did.
To have the amount of success that he did in just 1 year of coaching them, I think that it's well deserved. I think again, I don't understand how a team can go undefeated and have none of these regular season awards, but that's just me. So I don't know.
Kosta, tell us how you really feel.
Yeah. I give you a compliment, and then I reverse it by saying my team was undefeated, and I don't know how.
Kosta, I look at it this way.
Huh?
The 2 Rookie of the Year awards, I think, are perfect.
Yeah. They're perfect. Yeah, those are the only ones that are
again,
perfect.
folks. You have to remember one thing: when it comes to these awards, they are not postseason related.
Yeah, they're not postseason. Yeah.
They are 100% regular season only.
Yeah.
So I know there was this huge thing with, how could Brian Daboll win it when it should go to Doug Peterson?
That's true. There's a lot of candidates that you can put in there.
Because Kosta, I think the problem is this: you look at, and again, I'm not taking away what Jacksonville did. I thought Jacksonville was very successful this season.
Yeah, of course.
But you started seeing those at the end of last year. So the expectation for Jacksonville was already up there.
Yeah.
You look
like people already knew that Doug Peterson would reverse
exactly.
their fortunes, right?
Exactly. Really? You look at the Giants with Brian Daboll. Did anybody see him turn that team around in 8 months?
I mean, he was an executive of the Buffalo Bills, so he has experience, but you never knew that.
Kosta, you have to remember something though.
Yeah.
You're looking at a team that basically, since Coughlin left in 2015,
yep,
the Giants have been irrelevant.
That's true.
Especially when you go through the days of Ben McAdoo, Steve Spagnuolo, Pat Shurmur, and those guys.
Yeah, oh god.
They've been lucky. I mean, they pretty much have averaged 4 wins a season for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Including realistically, you look at what the Giants did, and I give them that's why I think Daboll, I think, is the right choice.
Yeah.
Because he almost doubled what the team did in wins in the last 5 seasons.
So you mean to tell me that you predicted already that the Eagles would go undefeated for more than half of the season?
I didn't see that. Okay, I didn't see that coming. But again, hold on, Kosta. Look at the talent that Philly has.
I know.
Look at the talent that a lot of these other teams have.
Yeah.
And look at who the hell the Giants have.
Yeah.
They basically got their wide receivers from being cashiers at Walmart.
That's true. I'm not arguing that. That's definitely true.
Also, look at their offensive line. Our offensive line basically has been put together through the draft the last couple of years.
Yeah. That's true.
So, and also, Saquon Barkley hasn't been that good till now.
Yeah, he had a good line. You know what? Speaking of comeback player of the year, I think he would be a deserving candidate for being for getting that award too, actually.
But Kosta, you have to realize something. When
Yeah.
you look at what Saquon did, Saquon basically put himself in the position. Well, not even that. The reason Saquon also wasn't good is they haven't had a good offensive line in years.
I know.
The last time the Giants had a relatively good offensive line, in memory, you have to go back to 2011 and 07 when they won the two Super Bowls.
2011,
When they had guys like Sean O'Hara and those guys.
Yeah.
That's when the Giants had a good offensive line.
Yeah,
I don't care who you put in that backfield. If your offensive line is not good and can't get holes open for your running back to explode, I don't care who you put back there. You're not going to have a good running back.
That's true.
I mean, look at all the years. Great example of a great offensive line. Look at Dallas.
I you know what? Not to be biased here, not to sound biased here, but I think the Eagles have had a great offensive line for a number of years. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I totally agree with you on that.
I think even better than Dallas. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, I think going further, I don't think it's between Philly and Dallas anymore.
Who is it between?
Realistically, I think Dallas right now is in shambles.
Yeah.
Because of McCarthy. Washington can't figure out what fucking quarterback they want to use anymore.
They just stick with Heineke, man. That's it.
I think realistically, that division next year is going to come down to two teams.
Who?
And the two teams are the two guys who are on the screen right now.
Oh God! All right. Next year,
I think it's going to come down to us and you guys for that division.
Yeah, definitely.
I think the Giants are a team. Being that what we accomplished, I said to somebody at work recently, give it a couple of seasons. Not right now, but I think in a couple of seasons.
Yeah.
You can make the argument for the Giants competing for a Super Bowl.
Hey, man. Like you said, with the team that we have right now, with the Eagles have right now, not to switch topics, but with the Eagles, the team that the Eagles have right now, I think we can make a five-year run to the Super Bowl, actually. Right?
But Kosta, what's going to make it fun, though, is it's not always going to be Philly and Dallas.
Yeah, there's going to be another team in there.
Yeah. But you look on the other side. You know what I think is a team on the other side I think people have to watch out for in the next couple of years?
Who?
Jacksonville, the Jaguars.
Oh, yeah. I can
really think
Peterson, Doug Peterson is a mastermind. He will definitely turn that team around completely.
Yeah. I think you got him there, you got Trevor Lawrence down there.
Yeah.
You got a decent tight end there, and Evan Ingram. Even though I heard rumors he wants to come back to New York.
Yeah.
I think you got a team down there that give them, of course, probably 5 years. And I think you're going to be putting Jacksonville in that same category as your Kansas Cities, your Cincinnati's, and your Buffaloes.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
That good, eh? Wow.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
I think, because you got to remember, who's their competition in the AFC South?
Not much.
Who, Indy? What do you fucking do? To me, you look at the AFC South first. AFC South, for example. You got Indianapolis. You were talking about a joke of a franchise. Tennessee, they had their one good year when they were the number one seed. How far did they go?
Yeah, not too far.
And, of course, we don't even have to talk about Houston.
Oh, God.
So, being realistic, they have no competition in the AFC South.
Nah, you're right.
But, Kosta, let's do this. We'll take one more commercial. We'll come back, and we'll talk some Super Bowl.
All right, perfect. Yeah. Go ahead.
Guys, we are going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back to talk some Super Bowl, as Super Bowl 57 will be happening this Sunday as the Kansas City Chiefs will be taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Myself and Kosta will break down the game for you guys, give you guys our keys for it, and let you guys know who we think will win. Spoiler alert.
Oh, God.
Philly.
Yeah.
But, guys, hang tight. We'll be right back right after this.
All right.
Hey, guys. This is Carl from the ATR Network, also the producer of the Around the Rose podcast. And I'm proud to introduce to you one of our good partners, Moonstar Smoke, right here in Animal Park, New Jersey. There's their phone number, their fax number. Guys, if you're a vape smoker like I am, they have everything you need. Also, too, if you're a hookah smoker, they have all your needs for that. Check them out. They're a mom and pop store. Sweetest people in the world. And you want to check them out. But also, too, you want to stay tuned to see more advertisements coming from them.
And we are back right here on Sports Ballz as we are about to get you guys ready for the 2023 Super Bowl happening between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. So, Kosta, let me just run down with you some stuff here.
Yeah.
This is according to CBS Sports. The spread for the game is Philadelphia by 1.5 points.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The over-under is 51 points.
Really? Oh, wow.
The Eagles versus the Chiefs money line is Philadelphia -125, Kansas City +105.
Okay.
What that actually means, I have no freaking idea.
I think plus is well, I think it's the opposite way. I think minus is good and plus is bad in that way. I don't know how it really works, but yeah. I don't know.
Hang on 1 second here.
I think I got it.
Then you also have a few other things I also mentioned.
Yeah.
The Eagles are 7-2 against the spread in their last 9 playoff games.
Yeah.
The Chiefs have covered their last 3 meetings with Philly.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's pretty much the gist on that end. But Kosta, let me get your take on it first.
Okay.
Looking at the stats.
Yeah.
Hold on. Looking at the stats.
Okay.
What, in your opinion, does Philly have to do to get the win here on Sunday?
You know what? I'll just preface by saying this. In order to win any championship, you usually need a superior defense, right? So, that being said, basically, Philly's had the best defense for the entire year, and from what I know, Kansas City has had holes in their defense for the entire year. So I think it's going to come down to basically a one-score game. I think that it's going to be 34-31 in favor of the Eagles. Because of their defense is more superior, I think if we can put an immense amount of pressure on Mahomes, I don't think he'll be able to move around and do the things that he usually does. So I think the Eagles win by a field goal, 34-31.
Yeah, but Kosta, I get what you're saying and all, but here's my only thing with it. You look at Philly, okay?
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts is a mobile, solid quarterback.
Yep. They both are. They both are.
Kansas City going up against Hurts?
Sorry, say that one more time.
Can't you make the same argument with the Kansas City defense as far as containing Hurts?
No, they're weaker. They're a lot weaker than the Philly defense, in my opinion.
I just think I'm not gonna say the only pitfall. I think one of the big pitfalls that Philly's gonna have to try to overcome.
Yeah.
Is going up against a team like Kansas City who's been there before.
Right. They have experience. Yeah.
Philly, yes, folks, before you start chastising me, yes, the Eagles have been in the Super Bowl before. I'm not saying that. I'm saying this incarnation of the Eagles has not been in the Super Bowl yet.
Well, we still have Fletcher Cox, who was there. Brandon Graham was there. A lot of people, actually, a few people that are on the team still that were there in 2017.
So, okay, but in that perspective then, if I'm somebody like Jalen Hurts or hell, if I'm somebody like Nick Sirianni, well, not even that. Nick Sirianni, wasn't he on Kansas City last year or the last Super Bowl when they won?
I don't know, but I think it was last year, yeah. But then the season, in the off season, I think Andy Reid is the one that fired Nick Sirianni. Mm-hmm. I believe there was an off season where Andy Reid had fired Nick Sirianni. So in that sense, saying that this is kind of a revenge game for Mr. Sirianni. a little bit of extra added motivation there to win.
Yeah, but I feel like that's a good thing and a bad thing. And I say that for this reason. It's a good thing because Sirianni knows what Andy Reid's going to bring him.
Mm-hmm.
But you talk about somebody like Andy Reid, who is not a spring chicken, who has been in this game for a long ass time.
Yeah.
So he might call some plays that Philly may not be expecting. But I think the big thing that, if I'm Philly, I think the big thing I would focus on is when you come out, when they come out of the ramp, out of the tunnel.
Yeah.
Soak in that moment.
Yeah.
Realize what got you to the dance.
Mm-hmm.
But also realize, because I can see a big problem here for Jalen Hurts.
What is that?
Who has been Jalen Hurts? We look at Jalen Hurts and who he's faced this year, okay?
Yep.
He hasn't really faced that tough of a competition.
Well, we're in the NFC. We're kind of in the NFC East, where there, up until like recent years, there hasn't been really much competition, right? So
yeah,
you're right. You're right about that.
So the problem is the moment going to get to Hurts? Is what I'm trying to say. That if all of a sudden he's going to start to realize where he. Don't get me wrong. I think Jalen Hurts is a fantastic quarterback. I'm not taking that away from him.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But there's a difference when you're a quarterback in the NFC East.
Yeah.
And you go up against teams like Dallas, New York, and Washington. And then also you got to go up against a team like Kansas City.
That's true. That's true.
So to me, I think Kansas City's big advantage here is the fact that they have the experience.
Yeah, they've had the experience of being in the big game for sure. Yeah,
they have the experience. I think that's what's going to be key for them. I think if you can contain, and I think they can say this for both quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I understand what you were saying before, Patrick, about Philly trying to contain Patrick Mahomes, but the argument could be made on the other side of it, because if you contain Jalen Hurts, and sort of make his feet the X factor in the whole thing, and force him to become a pocket quarterback,
right?
That's what's going to change it for him, I think, come Sunday. Is if he's doesn't have the ability to sit in that pocket long enough and start dancing around. Yeah. So if they're able to contain him, and put pressure on him, that's where I think the big key is going to come into play.
Okay, well, we'll see.
But also, you also have to remember one other thing. You're dealing with a team in Kansas City who was number one in the AFC in basically every offensive category.
Right.
So is Philly going to be able to contain that?
Well, I think so, but it remains to be seen, yeah.
That's going to be the big kicker.
Yeah.
We'll
see.
To me, that's what's going to be the big kicker is, can Philly contain this offense?
Yeah.
I think if I'm Philly, do not allow Kansas City extra time with the ball.
Right. Don't run down the clock as much as you can, yeah?
Exactly. Do not turn around and sit there and also let's say Philly does have a lead, okay? Knock on wood, let's say Philly does have a lead and it's 23-20.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And you can turn around and go, we'll just kneel right here. We'll be fine. And then, mind you still have a minute and a half, almost 2 minutes left in the game.
Yep.
You see what Patrick Mahomes does.
Yeah.
And that's where unfortunately, that's what's going to be Philly's problem, is trying to contain this offense.
Like you said, the argument could be made on both sides, because they're both, Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts are both mobile quarterbacks. So they're going to take they're going to have to take a chance and contain both of them. So let's see who makes the better containment adjustments there.
Oh, absolutely. I totally agree with you. And
that's
to me,
that's what's going to come down to.
To me, that's what it comes down. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think if I'm Philly, you have to make minimal mistakes.
Exactly. No penalties, no
nothing that's going to turn around and go, here, Kansas City, we're giving you the ball.
Exactly.
You want to make sure that if you're Philly, you want to make sure that Kansas City does not get on the field as much as they're used to.
Exactly. I agree with you, John.
And I think realistically, if I had to give my prediction, I think that's why I'm going with Kansas City on this. I'm going with Kansas City just on the sole perspective that they have the experience. They know how to. I'm trying my best to put this. They know what it takes to get to the big dance. And again, I'm not taking anything away from Philly. I think Philly knows what it takes.
Yeah.
But it's a much different animal where all of a sudden it's like, okay, we went through playing guys like teams like Minnesota, teams like Dallas, teams like New York.
Okay.
You're going up against a team like Kansas City.
I know.
Be lucky the game is not in Kansas City, is all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Well, just to add one more point to that. So if people have been following Jalen Hurts' career, they know that he's been through a lot of adversity, such as getting benched in a championship game while he was in college, right? So people speak about experience, right? And that's important, right? But those moments are gonna be a flash in the pan of what Jalen Hurts is gonna use as motivation to win this game on Sunday.
Yes, and I understand what you're saying, but I don't know. To me, I'm sticking with my pick. I'm sticking with Kansas City on my pick. And it's not because I'm trying to be against Philly, which also, by the way, Kosta, you realize every game I picked against Philly, they've always won.
Exactly. You've always been wrong. You've always been wrong this year. So
yeah. So I look at it this way. Do I want to be wrong now? No, preferably not. I'm really tired of being wrong, to be honest. But I think in this perspective, I think the experience is what's going to be the key factor here.
Yeah. I think, like I said before, I think Philly has the superior defense. So I think defense wins championships. I'm going to go with
Kosta, again, I understand what you're saying about defense wins championships. Yeah. But not when you have an offense led by Patrick Mahomes.
Okay. Well, it remains to be seen. My prediction remains to be 34-31 Philadelphia. So
my prediction is give me Kansas City 31, Philadelphia 28.
A one-score game again. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not taking that away. I think for the first time in years, I think you're going to have one of the more competitive games ever.
Okay. Yeah, of course.
When it comes to the Super Bowl, I think you're going to have one of the closest games that you can think of.
Yeah, definitely.
But I just think on paper, with the fact that you have Patrick Mahomes, who's been in this position before, who knows what it takes to win a Super Bowl.
Yep.
I think, unfortunately, you got to chalk it up to them. They got the win here. Which also, by the way, do you know if they do win on Sunday, Mahomes will make history?
Oh, yeah? What kind of history is that?
He'll be the first. I just read this before. He'll be the first quarterback to win multiple MVPs and multiple Super Bowls in their first 6 seasons in the NFL.
Really? Wow.
I think some of the storylines, though, are very interesting with the Super Bowl. Not only do you have the first Super Bowl where you have two brothers going against each other.
Yep. Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce. Yep.
You also have the first quarterback. You have the first Super Bowl with 2 starting quarterbacks who are both African American.
Yep. That's great. That's amazing.
You also have the first. You have it's the as everybody's calling it, it's a Nick Sirianni revenge game.
I think it is. Yeah, for sure.
But it's something. I mean, like I said, it's gonna be something definitely to watch out for. And I know Kosta. I know being your music guy, I know you're really looking forward to that Rihanna halftime show.
Oh, I to be honest, I think she's gonna do great. It's not gonna be as good as what it was last year, which was filled with hip hop acts. But Rihanna. She's a veteran. She'll do a great job. She'll be all right.
I totally think she will. But guys, again, those are our picks. Kosta picks the Philadelphia Eagles. Yep. I picked the Kansas City Chiefs to win. Let us know in the comments below what you think the score is going to be, because Kosta, next week we will recap.
Yeah.
This
definitely.
whole game.
Yeah.
On next week's show, folks, will be our recap of the Super Bowl. And depending on how it goes, we might even do a show a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. But again, folks, just some notes coming up. in a couple of weeks, we will be getting more into baseball talk as spring training will be getting started in actually the end of the month.
I think February 26th is when the Blue Jays start. Yeah.
Yep. And pitchers and catchers report next week.
Yep.
So it seems like warm weather is coming back, folks. We'll definitely have that coming up for you. We'll continue coverage of the second half of the NBA season.
Yep.
And we'll get you guys ready for the NBA playoff run, NHL playoff run, all of that and much, much more. Again, folks, stay tuned for all of that. We'll have YouTube exclusives coming out as well in regards to the world of sports. So you're definitely going to want to check that out. But Kosta, anything else you'd like to get before we wrap it up? Because I think I kind of covered everything I wanted to cover.
Yeah. I just want to reiterate that my show, the Rock and Rock Connection, will be making its return very, very, very soon. So everyone, keep an eye out for that. And yeah, we're returning very, very soon. We're just revamping some stuff and making sure everything is good to go. Okay. So yeah,
I totally agree with you on that. But again, Kosta, let me throw this to you first. You have nothing else you want to get to, right?
No, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good.
All right. So guys, I think it's safe to say we're going to wrap up the show for tonight. But again, guys, tune into the Super Bowl this Sunday. I think it's on CBS, actually, if I remember correctly.
I don't know how it is in the US, but I think mine is on Fox. I think.
Maybe on Fox then. I'm sorry, I don't remember.
On Fox and CTV. Yeah.
Yes, but guys, make sure you go watch the Super Bowl on Sunday. It's gonna be a fun game.
Yeah, definitely.
We will probably more than likely do some sort of recap thing either after it or sometime next week, or we'll just wait till Friday. We'll see how the week goes.
Yeah.
Again, guys, the Around the Ropes podcast will be returning to live programming either the end of this month or the early next month.
Yep.
But definitely stay tuned because we do have a lot of YouTube exclusives coming out for that.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not going to want to miss anything we have coming out with that. Again, folks, like Kosta said, the Rap and Rock Connection will be making its comeback and just having some minor cosmetic things right now that are going on.
Yep.
And of course, guys, we'll be here every Friday night talking all things sports right here on Sports Ballz. But Kosta, let me throw it to you now. Where can people find you on social media?
Social media, you can find me on Twitter at road2riches.ca. That's ROAD and the number 2 and then riches.ca, or you can type in my entire first name, which is KOSTAPACHNERIS, and you can find me there. Just look for this beautiful mug of mine. Not really, but yeah, you'll find me on social media. On Facebook, it's just Kosta Pacneris. Just look for a logo of Devontae Smith. His jersey number is number 6, and the logo was when he made that catch against San Francisco. So, which people say wasn't really a catch, but that's a story for another day. Yeah, just look for Devontae Smith's number 6 Eagles jersey.
I totally get you on that. Guys, you can find me on social media. I'm at Jon_Blaine. You can find the network. We're at ATR_. Just type in ATR Network. You'll find us.
Exactly.
Any social media platform. Again, guys, if you have not done so already, I don't know why you haven't, because I feel like we've been talking about this since we've been started.
Yeah.
If you go to our YouTube page, youtube.com/@the-ATR Network, hit the subscribe button. It costs you nothing. It does wonders for us. You get all your videos from the On the Ropes podcast, from Kosta's Rap and Rock Connection, from this show, any YouTube exclusives we have as far as interviews, top 10 lists will all be there. Oof, that was a mouthful right there.
Yep.
We will also be we are going to have a reshipment of our coffee coming up soon.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So definitely we'll be selling those again. So definitely look out for that. But again, for Kosta, I'm John. This has been a YouTube exclusive. Good God Almighty! This has been a live YouTube Sports Ball show.
Yeah.
And we will catch you guys in the next one. Again, guys, keep it locked into all. Why do I have this? It's time for us to get out of here, guys.
Yeah. All right. Peace out, guys. Thanks for tuning in.